Hello, and welcome to the Student Association's Budget Workshop that will guide you through completing your budget request for the 2013-2014 academic year. What we hope you will learn today is how the budget process works, how to complete your budget packet for successful submission to SAI, and what you can expect for your allocation. The overall budget process is a bit confusing for those who do not understand the key players in the process. There are two groups involved in the process, SAI and Student Cabinet. SAI's main responsibility in the budget process is to distribute, collect, and tally all allocation requests. We have no role in deciding how much allocation each club gets, and SAI must submit a budget packet also for their funding. Student Cabinet is the body of student government who will meet on March 13th for numerous hours to review the budget packets and decide how much money should be allocated to each eligible club. Prior to that meeting, each cabinet member is to meet with their assigned clubs to get details and a general understanding of why the club is in need of the money they are asking for. It is important to remember that the cabinet member who represents your club is your voice during the budget meeting, and that is why it is so important that you meet with him or her. At the end of the budget meeting, Student Cabinet presents the approved allocations to SAI for publication in the Cal Times, so that each member of the SAI Corporation can review them. On Monday, April 8th, there is an annual corporation meeting where each full-time fee-paying student who is a member of the SAI Corporation can come and vote to approve or reject the allocations for 2013-2014. There are four main parts to the budget packet this year: the budget request and activity detail form, the campus organization information form, the group roster, and the budget redistribution process. The budget request and activity detail form is the heart of your allocation request. It is where your numbers will be and details about your planned activities can be seen. The remaining three parts will be discussed in more detail later. Let's first discuss Part 1, the budget request and activity detail forms. The first step in preparing your budget request is to discuss the activities your club would like to do during the next school year with the entire club. This should be done at one of your normal meetings so that every member of the club has a say in the allocation request. Once you come up with a list of activities, the next step is to write them all down on the activity detail form, which is page 2 of the budget packet. You need to be as detailed as possible, and each item listed should have a cost associated with it. Please take the time to review the sample activity detail form found on page 4 of the budget packet prior to completing yours. It is much easier to understand your activities if you group them according to income and expense category and total them all together, so the totals can easily be tracked from page 2 to page 1 of the budget packet. The easier you make it for your cabinet member to understand, the easier he or she will be able to answer questions during the budget meeting regarding your request. After you have all activities on the activity detail form totaled by income and expense category, step 3 is to transfer that information to page 1, the budget request form. Remember, I told you this is the heart of your budget packet. The total request on page 1 should equal the amount you have shown as total income less the total expenses on your detail from page 2. Please be sure to double check your math and remember, if you have fundraising expenses, you should have fundraising income. Please note you must estimate any income that your club plans to bring in during 2013-2014. This may be from planned fundraisers, dues, or any other type of revenue-generating source, including donations. Clubs need to be realistic and understand that they will not always get an increase from their prior year's allocation award, and a decrease is always possible depending on enrollment figures. Clubs should always try to fundraise and earn extra money for their club to spend each year, and planning in advance to do this is the best way to get started. The final step to have the budget request form complete is to have the president, treasurer, and advisor sign the form in pen. No pencil is accepted, and your budget packet will not be taken at SAI if any signatures are in pencil. Part 2 of the budget process is the Campus Organization Information Form. On page 5 in your budget packet is this form. This form tells the SAI Business Office staff who is authorized to spend money from your account and receive your account information. Anytime there is a change in office or advisor, a new form must be completed and submitted to SAI. We use this form to check signatures when purchase requisitions are received and to send out announcements to the officers and advisors. You can always find this form on our website at sai.calu.edu/SAI. Remember, this must be submitted as part of your budget packet or SAI will not accept it. Part 3 of the process is the group roster. The group roster found on page 6 in the budget packet does two things. One is that it tells Cabinet how many members you have in your club, and two is that it provides the information necessary to get the credit placed on the club member's activities transcript. Each group roster is submitted to the activities transcript department for entry into the system. The most important thing to remember is that the advisor of the club must sign the group roster in pen. It will not be accepted without signature. If you have an electronic listing of each member that contains mainly the same information, you may print it out and attach it to the form, and the advisor must sign it. This form may be copied if you need more room. Just remember that the advisor must sign each page individually in pen. It is also important to remember that any club eligible for allocation must have a minimum of 15 members. Clubs who submit a group roster with less than 15 signatures on it will not be eligible for allocation. The redistribution process will begin after the final allocation awards are approved by the annual corporation in April. In most cases, the amount allocated to each club is not the amount requested. Since clubs are only permitted to spend allocated dollars on items that are approved through the budget process, each club will have to decide how it will use the funding that it was awarded. Redistribution packets will be available in mid-April, and there will be a separate training video available to walk you through that process. Just remember that clubs will not be permitted to use any 2013-2014 allocated dollars until their redistribution packet is received at SAI. If your club normally does activities in July and August, you will need to submit your redistribution packet prior to leaving for the summer. SAI will encourage clubs to wait until their first meeting of the fall 2013 semester to allow club input on the redistribution of funds. Completed budget packets are due to the SAI Business Office, located above the Gold Rush in the Natali Student Center, before 3:30 p.m. on Friday, March 1st, 2013. All three parts must be turned in together in order for your budget request to be accepted. You will receive a written receipt when your budget packet is accepted. Please keep this for your records. Also, a copy of your budget packet can be made at SAI when you submit it for free. As soon as your budget packet is complete, please turn it into SAI. The sooner we receive your request, the quicker it will be distributed to your cabinet rep to review. SAI is offering an incentive this year for early submission. Any club who turns in their budget packet by 3:30 p.m. on Friday, February 22nd will have their name put into a drawing to win $100 that will be placed into your club account to use this year or next year. It is important to note that budget packets submitted after March 1st are assessed a 5% per day penalty, which automatically reduces your request per day. Any budget packets received after Friday, March 8th will not be considered for allocation. Everybody always wants to know how much money their club will get next year. The only true answer to that question is it depends on you and your club. Student Cabinet looks at your 5-year history of allocation, spending patterns, fundraising efforts, and carryover dollars, plus takes into account everything you share with your cabinet rep when you meet with him or her. If you submit your budget packet late, you automatically receive a 5% per day penalty off of your requested amount, so that will immediately reduce your request. Student Cabinet will have an estimated $2 million to allocate out over 115 clubs this year. The best advice we can give you so that your club will receive the most money possible for your request is to submit a budget request that is reasonable and meet with your cabinet representative as many times as you feel necessary so they understand why you need the money you are seeking. Make sure you plan on fundraising, and any request for travel included in your budget packet should be economical and not extravagant. Also, be sure to turn in an organized, neat, and accurate budget packet to SAI prior to the due date so that you do not incur any penalty. Here are a list of contacts at SAI that can answer any questions you may have regarding your budget packet. Please feel free to stop up in our office or email us with any question. There is nothing too small to ask, and we want you to be 100% confident in filling out your budget packet. Remember to check our website for updates and become a fan of the SAI at Cal U of PA Facebook page. We are posting deadlines and important things to know on Facebook all the time. If you need a copy of the budget request packet, go to SAI's website at sai.calu.edu/SAI to print it. SAI would like to thank you for taking the time to attend this workshop, and we wish you much success in this year's budget process.